Chaps, dames, and non-binary flames, welcome back. My name is C28, and I've run out of things to say for the intro. What if instead of that I said, today I learned how to somewhat legally deafen people? No, that still doesn't do it. Today I used AirPods Max as ear pro. No, that's a bit dumb, isn't it? Today I somewhat terribly played the drum set. We're just going to roll with that. So today, in Introduction to Show Production, we were messing around with how to be a monitor engineer. So you got two types of engineers who run stuff. First time learning about this was the lecture we had before this lecture. But then really understanding it was the lab at the time. I kind of was like, okay, maybe I understand what's happening, but not really. Until we had the lab explaining monitor engineering. So you have your front of house engineering, which is mixing stuff for the crowd, for people who, paid money to go to the event. And then you have your monitor engineer. Well, they're doing monitors. What monitors? The monitors that the artists get to hear, or the people on stage. You're going to want them to be able to hear themselves. It'd be kind of a shame if, the drummer's so loud, the vocalist can't hear themselves. Like, oh, shoot. Or, the guitarist is so loud, the keyboard is like, oh, I can't hear myself. Shoot. So there has to be a system in place where everyone can hear themselves and the band pretty well. And that job goes to the monitoring engineer. So the monitoring engineer is in charge of the mixes that go to the in-ear monitor or the floor monitor feeds for every single person on stage. Everyone gets their own mix. And then I guess one for the monitoring engineer if they so please. Yes. So there's a lot of stuff to take into account there. The number one thing is feedback. You're going to have crazy feedback. You're putting a microphone on stage, and then you're pointing sound at where those microphones are on stage, and they're feeding each other. Well, you're going to have to do something called a ring out. We learned about ring outs, which are, so you have three things now. You have your line check, you have your sound check, you have your ring out. Of course, your line check is, does the damn thing work? Your sound check is, does the damn thing sound good? And your ring out is, does the damn thing go, yeah? If it does go, yeah, then you should probably fix that eeing. And you do so with the ring out by sort of analyzing, what frequency is causing that eeing, and can I just simply remove that? If you can, well, congratulations, you fixed the eeing. But other things too. Maybe the damn thing is just too loud. In that case, bring it down. But then you also run into issues where artists might say something like, I understand it's maxed out, but I still can't hear myself. Can you bring it up? Can you bring it up? And then you might do some sneaky shit. You might be like, yeah, I'll bring you up. And then you lower the feed for a bit. And then you lower the everyone else's stuff. And then you up them, or you leave them up. And then you bring it back. And they're like, oh, I hear myself way better. Thank you for bringing it up. Like, yep. Didn't bring you up, but yep. Yeah, stuff like that. Because they are essentially, the monitoring engineer is going to be the most intimate with the artists of everyone else, of lighting, of front of house, of your production manager, of honestly even the other band members while they're doing stuff. Because they have to be able to communicate with the monitoring engineer, say, hey, that person, I can't bloody hear, put them up. That person is too loud, put them down. And stuff like that. So, monitoring engineer can be a very fun and rewarding job, or it can be a hectic and hellish job. Depends on who you're working for, what you're doing. But overall, it seems like the monitoring engineers tend to have a very good positive relationships with the artist, positive relationship with the artist, so that's good. I'm interested in it. I think it'd be cool to do some side gigs as a monitoring engineer, though typically that's not how it's done. Typically, the band brings their own monitoring engineer because they know this person and they trust this person to give them the mixes they want. So not typically a thing that happens. Yeah. What are some other things that I could go into about monitoring engineering? So we were talking about how to...
Hi, it's C28.
you may notice the camera is beginning to pan downward. Well, yeah, it's about to fall really far down and my face is about to be very much not in frame. I may do one of two things. One, show you my very messy cable floor. Two, cut the video feed, keep the audio in, and just fade to black for a few seconds. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm about to return the video to normal, so expect that my face will not be in some of the shots in the near future. See you in a bit. How to utilize the digital console that we're using. We're using the SQ6 by... who's it? I'll forget. Hudson something? Can't remember. SQ6. If you know the SQ6, you know the SQ6. It is a digital mixing console for live events. Dave something. Dave? Dante's what I'm thinking of. I can't think of the name of the brand. Sucks. I flipped my mind. I'm going to give up on it. It'll come back and I'll just scream it. Anyway. Going through different settings on how to swap from your standard mode to your monitoring mode. So you have different feeds for everyone. And then just doing the standard inputs. So we had a mic up the stage. We only did one microphone, but we had to set up the stage with the monitors and then plug those in properly. And then we had like digital things that we passed through Dante protocol into the console so we could spread it out and then output it properly. And then we messed with levels. Like one of those intros, I talked about how I used AirPods Max as Ear Pro. And yeah, so our lab instructor was saying basically, hey, we're going to do some sound checks and you might get some feedback and it might be very loud. So I'd recommend, if you have your headphones, to wear them as some Ear Pro. Cool thing with these, most people will probably never experience this. They have limiters. What? What do you mean? Of course, like that. No. For transparency mode, they have limiters. So if there's a super loud sound, it'll actually cut your feed. It has like a 40 decibel pad or something. I don't know what the actual number is, but it feels like a 40 decibel pad it puts on and then slowly fades up to a good volume. And that was mad because we had a few instances where the thing, or the monitors were stupid loud. And it was a godsend when suddenly I hear my hearing go out and then a slow, I'm like, and everyone else is like, so good job. They're actually pretty good Ear Pro. Probably not great for a jet engine, but pretty good for that, I'll be honest. They're not marketed as Ear Pro. They're absolutely not marketed as Ear Pro. Don't let anyone tell you they're Ear Pro. But yes, I think I am falling. I may have fallen out of frame. Let me check real quick. I have definitely fallen out of frame. I don't know how long I've been out of frame, but we're going to assume that it hasn't been too long, and I'm just going to readjust my camera mid-video log, and you and I are going to pretend like that situation didn't happen. So, yes, if you're staring at my chair or like my legs for the past few minutes, that's unfortunate. I genuinely just didn't notice the camera slowly panning down the entire time. And I bet a lot of you are like, C2A, it's falling, it's falling, it's falling, it's falling! And I can't hear you because this is not live, but we might do lives in the future. I think I wrapped it up actually pretty well. Yeah, you're probably. So, routing things through, understanding how to use the board. And then we did have a lab previously where we were given a mix through Dante protocol. And we were setting up the different mixes for everyone else, understanding how to sort of label those different mixes. So that was good. Or not label the mixes, but label the auxiliaries, which sort of like summed up the different parts for the different people. So it's essentially, to explain it, you would have your mixes for everyone, and you would have a channel strip, say for Vox 2. And say drums wants a little bit of Vox 2, which I guess they could want, but typically probably no. We'll say guitar wants Vox 2. Guitar wants Vox 2. You could select Vox 2 on the SQ6. Still can't think of the brand name. And then you can press channel to all, I think is the button. And then you can swipe up or down on the mix you want it to go to, and it moves it on that mix. So you could have your stuff, you're monitoring everything on stage for your mix, and then suddenly someone's like, and they're pointing like, this person up on me, and then you quickly like go to that thing they want up, and then you go into your mix, and you push it up a little bit, and that. So, going through that, I don't know how to describe that properly, but I hope you got that. I hope that made sense to you. Yeah. And I think you can tell by now, by how I'm describing things, this alien world of Show Pro is becoming less alien to me, as I can more fluidly speak about it. I'm like, yeah, so the thing, like, you connect and uses like some protocol which like sends audio somewhere. I'm starting to actually comprehend how things are operating. I can start talking more loosely about them, and that's good. Understanding actually how they says. So we probably shouldn't have Apple do that. Of course, yeah, I censored the message, but that's new. I didn't know that while recording a video, it would just speak your text messages to you or an audio message, but that's a thing. That's fun. Yeah, anyway, the only other thing we really talked about was mobile or remote operations, basically meaning you can have an iPad or any other tablet and you can control your device that way, even a phone. But arguably, you probably want a tablet because screen face, stuff you can put on there. Yeah. I think what would be really cool is the Vision Pro with this stuff. If you can have your Vision Pro hook up to like your MacBook that's running stuff, and then you can walk around with the Vision Pro. Whoa. Because it's just controlling your MacBook anyway. You don't need support for the Vision Pro with these systems. It just does it with the MacBook Pro. So if you're plugged into the MacBook Pro doing stuff, you just access the Vision Pro. Boom! Screens all around you. Now you can walk around. You can move things in space. People are like, why are you dancing like that? And you're like, it's a secret. Shh. Don't worry about it. So, that's pretty much the only thing. Is there anything else interesting that I missed? I really don't think so. Less interesting stuff, which is good to know. When I say interesting, I mean like a person who's okay, I'm better now. Whoa. Humans are not designed right. We drown easily. Whew. Anyway, yeah, just when I say not interesting, it means basically like the average person who's just not into this stuff would be like, okay, I don't really care about the equipment specs. I don't care about the names of the brands you use. I don't really care. Like last video log, I talked about the different other protocols for transmitting audio to different channels that exist other than Dante. Probably shouldn't have done that. But that was like the only other thing I could think of to say without being like, I don't know what these things are. Now I understand what the things are way better. I didn't even understand Dante until like today. I was like, oh, it's like instead of having all your cables separated, it's one cable that gives you all of them. Oh, okay. And then that clicked, as opposed to being like, it's some sort of audio protocol for sending audio, but no, it's more. And I guess MIDI protocol was somewhat accurate, but anyway, now I'm diving into the exact thing I was saying I wouldn't talk about and shouldn't talk about. But yes, boring stuff being basically specs that you wouldn't care about, but are important to me, unless you are interested in this stuff, in which case I'm lying. But I don't know the audience very well. Could you explain to me, audience? Well, what do you find interesting? What should I talk more or less about in these video logs? But I don't know. That's about it. Yeah, we talked about little specs, different things. In-ear monitors a little bit. That's it. So, we got some full set stuff. CJ business. I'm going to try to get most of the songs mixed properly. I said I'd do that over the break, over the winter break that we had, but I just didn't get to all of them. I think I have maybe 4 or so left I have to mix. And then I'll work with Who Mixed That Fire to master them. And then we should get that stuff out, hopefully. Goodness, I'm hoping. I said the first estimate was October. course that's passed. Then I said December. That passed. Then I said February. It can. I think it's more likely it's going to be late March. Late March. So, expect June. God, I hope I get it released this year. It's just so much. Yeah. And it's because it's the best stuff I've done to date. I don't want to do it dirty, you know? I want to do it perfect, and yeah. So I'm taking my time with it. But I don't want to procrastinate with it. I want to get stuff done, but I want to get it done. I don't want to get it half. I'll try to shoot some more episodes with the matriarch, but I'll be honest, chat, I'm gonna need some more conversation happening. You know, I don't know what to film because I don't exactly know what y'all are looking for. Now, you have been great in the polls. I appreciate you, Toads. Loads? Totally, and loads. I totally appreciate you, loads. I appreciate you, Toads, you bloody Toads, for using the polls and voting on those. Awesome. And that helps tremendously. So I might just do more polls. But, you know, if you have ideas, comment them. Seriously, comment them. I guess this is a good transition point to end the video. So, yes, questions or comments can go in the comment section below. Please. Ideas for videos, send them. You don't have to be control voltage. You don't have to be in the Discord. You can send them this way. So, yeah. If you enjoyed today's content, you know what to do. Hit that little red subscribe button. Maybe it's gray, maybe it's black, maybe it's white. Depends on where you are. It's all sorts of colors. But it changes color once you press it. That's cool. And then there's a little blue button you can press. It's always blue. I know that. And that's join. For $5 a month, you become a control voltage. You get access to the Discord that you don't need to be on to ask questions or post ideas. You get access to videos early, like this one. And you get behind the scenes content. And perhaps some members only live chats. We'll see what happens in the future. More and more stuff as we get more members. Figure it out. Yeah. So, I hope you all take care of yourselves. God be with you, and goodbye, YouTube.